Hey guys, aReNGee here. I'm back with another constructed video. Recently I was able to actually finally go through it and update all the stock decks, and in the course of doing so, my good friend Unearthly passed me over a Rakano list. And not just any Rakano list, this list was doing a couple of things that I'd never seen before. For one thing, Unearthly had the presence of mind to do something that no one else had, that I'd seen in the mainstream anyways, and he actually cut Silverwing familiars, which that was a logical jump that I had not yet made. I thought to myself, metagame being what it is, Stone Scar Burn, plenty of Felm decks coming in to cover that. You need the Aegis, you need the Lifesteal, you need the Flying Evasion. But, Unearthly said no. There are other ways to play. So with Gilded Glaive gone, obviously the card gets a lot weaker, and there's a ton of the weapons that are available in order to buff the Silverwing just aren't that impressive outside of Hammer of Might. Morningstar is much worse. Chakram's good, but doesn't give resilience. Same with the Shogun Scepter. The 2/1 Warcry. They're all okay weapons. They're just not good on Silverwing specifically. Silverwing just wants stats. Mantle of Justice style, and the cards just weren't there, barring Plate, of course. But you can't play too many copies of Plate in Rakano. Deck doesn't work when you get that high a curve. What he's been playing instead are the dragons, the charged dragons. Although I don't actually have any copies of those, so I've substituted in my good old-fashioned obliterates, and I'm hoping that they can serve a similar role. The other card that he's playing that you'll see here is Finest Hour, which was an interesting inclusion for me. It's not something that I'd seen in quite some time. Although here we're just going to double torch, I think. Yeah, it seems better. Protect is a pretty good card, especially in Rakano. You buff up your big guys and you protect them from whatever Death Strike or what have you is coming in. But the Rakano deck finds itself tapping out so much, he said, that he wasn't actually finding time to use Protect, and he found that Finest Hour was better at racing decks. It was better against relic weapons, and one place where it was really good is in a combination with Righteous Fury. Now, the deck is no longer called Rakano Plate in the mainstream. It's now referred to as Righteous Rakano, or at least that's the lexicon that I am familiar with, based on this Righteous Fury. So Righteous Fury is a 4-cost fast spell that gives a unit double damage and lifesteal, which when you put it on something as simple as a 3/3, gives you 6 health and does 6 damage to them. So there's the Soulfire Drake that I was talking about. And unfortunately, we're going to win the game here, but first we're going to style on them a bit. So here, if this Finest Hour was a Protect, he would block the 5/5, and then my Protect wouldn't do anything, and he'd have another turn to draw something. Admittedly, my board position is pretty commanding, but here we don't even need to take that chance. We just end the game. So, lost my train of thought. Yes, Righteous Fury. While most people were looking for Silverwing, about, I'd say 3 weeks ago now, this Righteous Fury tech has been slotting into Rakano. And what that really needs is you need buffed up units. And the best way to get buffs in Rakano right now is not to use giant weapons, because those giant weapons aren't available, but to actually start snowballing the game in your favor with Warcry triggers. So we've seen a move down to the whole bunch of Warcry guys. You've got Grand Watch Paladins, Champion of Glory, just because they're really good, and now Rakano Outlaws as your third 2-drop. And the Pyre Knights have been cut entirely from the deck in favor of just the Oni Ronins. You want to get those Warcry triggers, get them stacking, and keep on moving forward. Here's my little spicy tech, one of Furnace Mage and the Righteous Fury, and too many sigils, so we're going to toss this back. It's my first time doing one of those talk and play at the same time things, so I apologize if I'm losing my train of thought a bit. This deck is It's very clean, I would say. It looks very polished and it feels very polished, and so far in playing it, it's been quite good, even though I'm not exactly playing his list. I've got a couple of tech cards in there. Problem you do have a little bit is that most of your 2-drops are 2/2s, and you don't have any 3-drop weapons to make them any better. And your 3-drops are stuff like Volk Reinforcer and sort of Ikaria, which aren't really good things to come down on. So Righteous Fury isn't really a 4-drop in this deck, and we may be trading off here. No? Interesting. So you need to find the correct spots to use it, and that plays into a lot of back and forth where, you know, your opponents are trying to get you when you cast the Righteous Fury, and you're trying to get your opponent by getting them to block something, usually with Quick Draw. Quick Draw is really good with double damage. And then you get them by playing the Righteous Fury to get the trade. So for example, here we could have attack with just the Outlaw, played the Righteous Fury, and traded when he blocked with Sandstorm Titan. But we played the Vanquish line just to definitely get rid of it. What do I want to do here? I don't think I want a Righteous Fury, since whatever I Righteous Fury could just get permafrosted. Maybe that's okay because I have the Furnace Mage backup. Yeah, that might be alright. I'm not convinced that this play is right, but it uses power pretty efficiently, and it puts them pretty far on the back foot. I guess Cerso is a really bad one. Yeah, well, this just trades, so that's fine. We should draw our ginormous whatever pretty soon, we hope. Sigil's not really what we want. Do we want to keep holding on to Furnace Mage? I think we do. It's not the best aggressive card here. He could easily have Obelisk, which would be enormous. He's getting good value out of this Sauropod Wrangler. And we're bricking. Alright, so we're not even going to bluff anything because he'll call that most of the time. Vanquish. Vanquish get in there? I think that's fine. Does he have Backlash? He has Backlash. Okay. So here's one of the struggles where Soulfire Drake would be quite good. If I draw Obliterate, which I'm apparently not going to, you know, I'm still basically at parity, but with the Soulfire Drake, I can jump over all of this and just start putting on pressure. So this works out pretty well for me because for holding on to that Furnace Mage lets me remove the permafrost. And we've got a huge Oni Ronin to back it up. Oni Ronin's really not the thing that you want to get the buff, but at least we get in for a quick 3. And his hand is not good. Although if he now draws Obelisk, I'm going to feel kind of silly for killing that permafrost. I'll tell you one thing that Obliterate is good for, that Soulfire Drake is not, killing Cerso. Now unfortunately if I attack here, this is just going to trade with a Scorpion Wasp, which I don't really want. Yeah. So we'll just hold on to it for now. We could draw Sword of Icaria's torches, weapons to make our other units better. Draw sigils. Lots of sigils. This happens to me when I try to play Stone Scar Cheeto. You draw all of the units. Sure, play it, whatever. False Prince. Still can't attack. He could be getting in there with his 1/1, but I'm very high health. And he does have to be slightly worried of dying to plate at any time. And here's where Protect is not particularly good. Although it does protect from Surso's effect. So, completely trailed off about Unearthly's deck, and for that I apologize. Because it's not cooperating at the moment. Okay. He blocks with 2/5. Okay, if he blocks with both his 5/5s, we can do a cool thing where we protect his guy to get rid of it. So let's see what he wants to block with, if anything. It'd be hilarious if he let this through and just died, but I don't think that's going to happen. Just jumping with a 1/1. Okay. No? Just jumping with a 1/1. Okay. Gonna take another 6. That's fine. But we're probably gonna have to actually use our Righteous Fury. Ooh. Okay. So if we torch this, we can safely attack with these two. If he tries the double block on either of them, we have the Protect tech, which doesn't care about backlash. So we'll try just the Righteous Fury. That appeared to go through. Alright. Protect is looking a lot worse now, though. His top decks are not particularly impressive, though. He needs to decide if he wants to keep pressuring with... He does not. Okay. If I attack with this, how does he block? He tosses these two on. And if he triple blocks, he can trade. Alright, so that's not particularly good for him, and he doesn't have anything in hand, so I think this is a safe attack. No, I guess he doesn't need to triple block. He can just double block. I don't know why I was thinking triple block. I thought this was an actual 8/8, but it was not. I think that attack is still going to end up okay, though. Yes. Now we can get in there with everybody. Whenever he blocks the Reinarch, we can just Torch. That actually plays around Torch the least well out of any of his particular blocks that he can make. His double blocks are now very bad because of Torch. Yeah, he's basically lost the game. Well, I'm going to win the game now, especially with those blocks. But yeah. So even in the face of a board stall like that, the Unearthly Rakano deck has the outs. The Righteous Fury just puts out so much pressure, and it gives you the life that you need to bring it back. Now, I know this is a little late, but I'll examine the exact deck list that I'm using and talk about where I've changed my stuff from Unearthly's and why. Unearthly is certainly the guy that you want to be building your Rakano decks because it is his deck. I tease him about it. I say he can't play anything else, but he is really good at playing Rakano, and it shows. He's always, in the top 10, usually top 3, and playing mostly, if not exclusively, Rakano. He's very in tune with what's good in Rakano, its matchups. He tracks all his stats. He's very on point. So the core of the deck is the same, and the cards that I am playing differently. I'm playing 2 Obliterates instead of 2 Soulfire Drakes because embarrassingly I do not have 2 Soulfire Drakes. I'm playing, instead of 4 Finest Hours, I'm playing 2 Finest Hour, 1 Protect, and 1 Furnace Mage as a spicy tech card. And that is the sum total of my differences. I think 4 Finest Hours is a little bit overkill, but I haven't actually played with them that much. They were pretty good in that first game, won me the game on the spot, but I was glad that I didn't, well, come to think of it, they probably would have been almost as good as Torch in that second game, in the end there, though not against the Scorpion Wasp, so there's give and take. The Furnace Mage was pretty good. Well, the Furnace Mage was okay, but the Furnace Mage would have been fantastic if they were managed to play Xenon Obelisk and probably game saving. So I'm not unhappy with that choice. And the Protect didn't do anything there, which is probably a good illustration of why Unearthly cut it. But just having a 1 of Protect out in order to defend a critical unit or to protect your face is, you know, it has enough blowout potential that I'm happy with it as a 1 of, and I think that it should be a 1 of in your Rakano decks just to have that possibility. If your opponents know that they don't have to play around Protect, well, they're going to play a lot more aggressively with, or they can afford to be a lot more conservative and pick their spots with their removal than if they think that they have to play around Protect. So having that 1 copy in there to make them think, does he have it, does he not have it, is sort of the way that I like to play to get that mental advantage over them. So there's the deck. This is the cleanest Rakano list that I've ever seen, and I think a very good choice moving forward. And I expect that a lot of players are going to do really well with it once they pick it up and get used to it. Will metagame adapt, of course, but I can tell you guys for sure, Rakano is back as a top deck. This deck is great. It plays great. I suggest you try it. This has been aReNGee. Thank you for watching me play and ramble a little bit, and I hope to produce a lot more video content for you guys going into the coming weeks. Thank you.